Hey everyone, Brian Carruthers here, and I'm excited for you to be participating today in this incredible Zoom presentation about your opportunity and your freedom. And today, I just want to encourage you to just lean in, just for the next 15 minutes or so. This should be a one-tab event, like put your phone down, turn off other screens, and just lean in, because what we're going to share with you right now is super important how it's going to impact your life. Look, the world that we know has changed and changed forever. We don't operate the same way. As we all know, jobs have been dislocated and income displaced. We're in a work from anywhere revolution. There's a lot of folks, because of what's been going on, who have taken pause and have had to actually contemplate, do I want to go back to doing what I've always been doing? Did I like my job to begin with? Or maybe I haven't liked it in years, or has my income been capped for a long time? And I was just trying to convince myself to just kind of stay with it because maybe I don't like to change. Well, how would you like to be able to have more income than you've been generating? A lot of times you have to make a trade-off. Do we want more time or do we want more money? What if you can actually make more income and more flexibility and, frankly, more independence? And look, in these uncertain times, at the end of the day, doesn't it make sense to have a backup plan? One of my favorite authors and business coaches of all time, Jim Rohn, he always taught you work hard all day at your job to earn a living, but you should be working spare time, nights or weekends, building your fortune. And that's what we're going to share with you all here today. Now, I had a mentor years ago that asked me a question, or frankly made a statement to me, and it was life-changing. And I know it sounds very cliche, life-changing, but he said, Brian, I think you're probably working for the wrong kind of money. I said, what do you mean? How is there such thing as the wrong kind of income? He said, well, there's three forms of income. There's linear income, getting paid on what you do, trading your time for money. My background, you guys, I was a real estate agent. I was in my 20s. I was working 7 days a week, like 8 to faint. I know what it's like to tell my family, sorry, I can't spend time. Tell my friends, sorry, I can't hang out. I know what it's like to put my fork down at dinner, to go take a call to put out a fire so I didn't lose a deal because I couldn't afford to miss a commission check. So in my real estate career, if I didn't sell a house, I didn't get paid. I was only getting paid on time I was expending. And same thing probably you with what you do for a job. So linear income is getting paid on what you do. Then leveraged income is getting paid on what others do. Now, most of us have been leveraged all our entire lives, but most of us don't have leverage working in our favor. A real estate broker recruits other agents to sell houses for him or her. And every time an agent sells a house, a broker gets a little piece. That's leveraged income. And then thirdly, the holy grail. And my mentor, by the way, a billionaire, he understands money. He understood what he was teaching me here. Leveraged income is amazing, better than linear. But he said the holy grail is residual income, where you do something one time, yet you get paid over and over and over again for what you did once. He said, knowing that, Brian, if you sold a house, got paid a nice commission, that's great. But what if you got paid $5 every time they open and close the front door? How would you like to have that kind of recurring revenue stream? Well, it doesn't exist in real estate like that, but it does in a project we're going to share with you all right now that you can embark upon on the side. Now, anytime you're evaluating a business project that you might potentially be interested in getting involved in, there's 5 key areas that you want to evaluate. And these 5 areas are the company. The need, is there a need in the marketplace? Whoever solves the biggest problems for the most people in this world make the most money. So we're going to show you how this amazing company is solving 2 ever-present needs that all of us have in our lives with our families every day. What actually does that product or service do? How does it bring benefit and value to people? Are all 3 forms of income available, which is yes here. And then also timing. The T in timing is way more important than the T in talent. Would you rather say I am smart or I is a millionaire? Okay, I'm just trying to be funny here. We're not talking about you all becoming a millionaire here, but I'm simply saying I know a lot of people that are very, very sharp, educated, multiple college degrees that are getting by just check to check, struggling financially. But I also know people that got C's in school. Some of them never even finished college, who are multimillionaires and living an amazing lifestyle because they were in the right place at the right time and figured out how to capitalize on trends. So to go over the first few areas of keys to evaluate the company and the need and what we actually are bringing to the marketplace, I'm going to throw over to my good friend, Mr. Darnell Self. He'll be able to share with you his brief story, but I watched him get involved with this project and just do amazing things, empowering so many people. And financially, he's done very well because of that as well. So Mr. Darnell Self, throw it over to you.
Yeah, I appreciate that. And thanks for sharing your insights. And I remember meeting Brian when we were in our 20s, both of us, and he was already earning a six-figure income in real estate. And I was working at the mall. And so we had slightly different backgrounds. I was working 60 to 80 hours a week, managing a men's and women's clothing store. And unfortunately, was still living check to check. And I quit my job at 25 to become an entrepreneur. And didn't find Legal Shield until I was 28, but I'd already gone on this downward spiral financially from 2 cars to 1 car and lost my last car. I didn't really lose it, it was repossessed, but it's good for my ego when I say I lost it. So I started at a very different place than Brian did. I was, quite frankly, my esteem was low. I was borrowing my father's pickup truck, and then along comes Legal Shield. And as Brian Carruthers said, the first thing you want to take a look at is the company. You want to make sure the company is solid. It's not here today and gone tomorrow. People are tired of all the get rich quicks, companies that are here today, gone tomorrow. And our company, as you can see, has been established since 1972. Next year, that will be 50 years we've been in business. We've protected and empower right now approximately 4.4 million lives across the United States and Canada that currently carry these 2 apps we'll talk about today. Now, if I said 400,000, that'd be impressive. 4.4 million people. You got to be thinking, my gosh, you guys are on to something. Our vision is to provide equal access to the liberty, equality, opportunity, and justice that every human, you and I, deserve. We've been in Forbes magazine, Yahoo Finance, CNBC, Bloomberg. The Better Business Bureau gives us an A+ rating. That's huge because 28 years old, people don't want to buy my word. But the message is much stronger than the messenger. Now, what we do is something called disruptive innovation. Some people term it as digital disruption. Is when you take an existing model and you make it simpler, easier, and more affordable. You remember shopping at the mall? Well, of course, Amazon disrupted that space. A lot of companies have been around for a long time, have shut their doors. What about buying CDs? When's the last time you've been to a record store? Some of you are like, for never, depending on your age. My daughter's new Jeep we purchased for her didn't even come with a CD player. Why? There's Spotify, Apple Music, Shazam, all these apps now. You don't have to go to the record store to actually buy music. But what about getting access to the justice system? Well, along comes Legal Shield, and we're leveling the legal playing field because the average person simply cannot afford $300 an hour for a lawyer when the average person doesn't even make $30 an hour at their job. So in these uncertain times, it requires preparation. And these are just some ideas that help you to think of things you probably could have used a lawyer for in the past. But if you're like me, I thought to myself, I'm a law-abiding citizen. I don't do anything wrong. But bad things happen to good people. I mean, good people have said, let me speak to your supervisor. And a repairman didn't stand by his work, and so we didn't know what to do. Or perhaps an online purchase goes wrong. Or perhaps your child's been a victim online or being bullied online by others. These are all things that we could use a lawyer to help us navigate through that situation. Again, bad things happen to good people. So let's talk about what our product is all about. So this is what our app looks like. Some of you may not have downloaded it as of yet, but thank the person who invited you to watch this Zoom and then immediately download that app. And when you download the app, here's what it's going to look like. Right now, mine is doing Face ID. And so when I turn it to you, you can see it says, hello, Darnell. Now this says hello, Pepper in this demo, but it's going to say hello in your name. And by tapping a button, we actually have equal access to justice for the first time in North America. Let's go over what this product does for you. So first, preventative. So that simply means you're going to have an opportunity to pick up the phone, talk to your lawyer and say, look, I just need advice. And if they deem it necessary, they'll write a letter or make a phone call for you, even review that contract for you up to 15 pages. I never forget I had a situation with my truck and the dealership didn't do what I thought they should do. I don't know my consumer rights, but guess what? On this app here, I actually press request a consult. It says access legal. I can actually press consumer rights. It's right there. If I say, I don't even know what consumer rights means, well, I can press the definition. It says any legal matter involving dispute with the purchase or service from a company or a government. Common examples, billing disputes, warranty issues, insurance. My point is, I picked up the phone, I talked to my lawyer, they called me back. They said, Mr. Self, we found that out in that state with that make and model, with that issue, if they keep the truck for 3 more days in that state with that make and model, with that particular issue, it actually falls under the lemon law. They actually have to give you under law a new vehicle. I would have never known that. It wouldn't have called a lawyer to find out. That's what I mean. If that was all we offered alone, that would be powerful because we now can be proactive and not reactive. How about life events? Like your last will and testament. We all know we need one. Most of us don't have one. Your living will, healthcare power of attorney, financial power of attorney. I mean, right there, there's $1,000 in value. Legal Shield gives you that. We've taken away the number one excuse why people don't have one. I didn't have one, believe it or not, with 2 kids when I joined Legal Shield, 4 now. But because of Legal Shield, I was able to prepare that last will and testament, updated each year, no additional cost, all under my membership. Now you have access to that today. Traffic ticket assistance, I've used that area most often. Don't judge me. Listen, I never forget getting the speeding ticket. And it's so simple. You on that same app, you actually take a picture of the ticket. It goes over to the law firm. They call you within 4 business hours. Where is that happening? And tell you the best way to handle that ticket. Their goal is to keep the points off of your license so your insurance is not going up. Unfortunately, if you have teenage drivers or you drive like a teenager, this is going to be really good for you. Civil trial defense. But listen, in court, in actual preparation for the court time, you know how much that costs to have a lawyer to go to court with you? Well, Legal Shield gives you a scheduled number of hours, 60 hours your first year, 300 hours your 5th year. I've never used all my 300 hours, but I'd rather have it and not need it than to need it and not have it. Tax audit assistance. What's my point here? You actually have access to law firms, not a lawyer. I have friends that are lawyers, but they don't know every area of law, like every doctor doesn't know every area of medicine. So if I have a tax situation, I want a lawyer that has experience in tax law. Preferred member discount. You get a 25% preferred member discount off of the normal hourly rate. Listen to this, the normal hourly rate of a top ranked law firm. Our average lawyer has 22 years of experience. That's huge. We're not talking about a recent law school dropout. So you're getting the best for the least amount. You even have 24-hour access 7 days a week in emergency situations. Listen, my daughter, who's 10 hours away from me in college, right? I live in Maryland. She's in Georgia. If she's being questioned, detained, arrested, had to step out the vehicle, she's a great young lady, but she could be a great young lady at the right party, wrong crowd, wrong time. And she doesn't have a right to disrespect law enforcement, to go back and forth. Doesn't work out for anyone. She doesn't have a right to say, I like to call my pastor or call my dad. And she does have a right to say, I like to exercise my Miranda and talk to my lawyer if I'm being questioned, detained, or arrested. That, my friends, gives me the greatest amount of peace of mind. Out of all the apps I have on this phone, I have a lot. That one gives me the greatest amount of peace of mind. Family Domestic Services is the only one that you have to wait 90 days for. Everything else you can start using right away. And that's for uncontested divorce, adoption, separation, and name change. Now, how much would you charge me if you're a lawyer and I said, listen, I want phone consultation. I need you to keep your cell phone on just in case I need you at 2 o'clock in the morning in an emergency situation. I want you to prepare my last will and testament. How much would you charge me for all of that? I mean, people tell me hundreds, thousands, you couldn't afford me. I said, look, I'm going to write you one check, not just for you, but I want your entire law firm because I never know what area of law I'm going to need advice in or representation. Well, we're not talking about hundreds of dollars an hour. We're talking about $1 a day. You have access to this. That's why we're growing so fast. $29.95 a month. And we even have a business plan. If you own a business like I own a business, or maybe you're getting started in your Legal Shield business today, look, sweat and tears to build a successful business. You don't want to make bad decisions. And even small businesses have big business problems. Make sure you get back with the person who invited you to check this out. Not only take advantage of the family membership for less than $30 a month, $1 a day, but also the small business membership. By the way, I should say this. Most folks say, listen, how in the world can you do that for $1 a day? I've never, in my 23 years of being a part of Legal Shield, had anyone say that's too much for a lawyer. They've only said, how can you do it for so little? But it's not your dollar, my dollar, but over 1 million people buying this membership at $1 a day. That's group buying power, shared economy. So I know it makes sense. Now, who's covered? Of course, you're going to be covered as the member. Your significant other or spouse or domestic partner, even never married dependent children under the age of 26 living at home or full-time students. This is huge. I added my kids to my auto insurance policy, kept going up. Right? I added my oldest son, my next son, my daughter. It kept going up here all under one plan. When I got started with Legal Shield, I thought, how powerful is that? Now, listen, there's another app that we actually market to. And cyber crimes are so far up right now. I mean, the FBI said that there were 69% more claims and issues with identity theft in 2020 over 2019. So it's not if it's happening. Unfortunately, it's just when it happens to you. And so you want the best of the best. And so we have monitoring and alerts. We monitor everything that matters, your entire digital DNA. This is not just about finances. Yes, we give you access to your credit score, but we also make sure you have access to your social security number, social insurance number if you're in Canada, passport, driver's license, email, medical ID. And we even help out with privacy and reputation management. In fact, we have this proprietary technology that scans for potential reputation damaging content on social media, because unfortunately we say things and do things and later on we regret it, and it stops us from getting scholarships. It stops us from getting hired at certain companies. And so you want a company that's going to assist you with that. But here's what differentiates us. We have comprehensive restoration, $1 million identity fraud protection. That means you're actually going to be assigned to a licensed private investigator, and they're going to do whatever it takes for as long as it takes to restore your identity back to pre-theft status. Happened to my daughter at 18 years old. She didn't know what to do, but we called our ID Shield support line, and they said, look, first of all, we want you to email support.snapchat.com. It's a social media platform where she was a victim. Number two, we want to file a police report so we can track the IP address. Number three, they walked her through 5 steps. Less than 72 hours later, her identity was stored back to the way it was. As a dad, it comforted me because you feel so helpless when you don't know what to do. But when you have access to a resource like this, you can at least tell your people, your family members, the people you love most, where they can get those answers. Okay. By the way, we also have ID Shield for business, because it's not just about individuals, small businesses and even large businesses that are victims now of identity theft. Where I went to college, 300,000 identities compromised from one breach in the registrar's office. Now, some of you are very familiar with identity theft, right? Cybersecurity. Some of you may not be as familiar. So let me just cover a few things here. For an example, one of the things, a VPN. Some folks are like, I don't even know what a VPN is. Well, it's a virtual private network. I know I'm not the only one who's used the internet at a hotel or an airport or a coffee shop. Well, unfortunately, that network is typically shared by others, and they can digitally eavesdrop on you if they're on that same network. And so wouldn't it be smart to have a company that could hide your IP address and actually create an encrypted online connection to that network? Well, that's what VPN Proxy One is all about. Even a password manager, I know I'm not the only one who's gone to a website that sometimes you frequent, sometimes you don't. You're like, what's my password for this one? And then you hit forget password. You have to wait for them to email you. Then you have to confirm that. I mean, I'm like, I just want to get into my website. And so we realize that that happens to all of us. Wouldn't it be nice, instead of my dog's birthday, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, the easiest password where all the thieves know how to find that, to actually have a stronger password, but yet have a password manager that sends all your passwords to a secure vault, where when the next time you go to that website, it knows how to communicate with that browser. That's what password managers do. And you and I now can go about our business and know that we're protected with maximum security. That's our ID Shield product. It is wholesome and fulsome. It is the best in class. And again, if you think, man, I'm ready to buy a house, I'm ready to actually go out and do something where I need the highest credit score possible so that I can get the lowest interest rate possible. And you're like, well, how am I still at 690? I thought I paid my bills on time. Wouldn't it be nice to have one-on-one education where someone who's a professional, an identity theft specialist, can provide information so you can understand your valuable credit rating and the actions that you've taken or perhaps not taken to end up with the score that you currently have? Well, when you get our legal plan with our identity theft plan together with Legal Shield, we're actually going to include credit counseling and education. I'm excited about that. And again, we've mentioned privacy management as well. So we're ranked number 1 by Forbes. This is in 2021. This isn't 5 years ago. And if you want the best, again, you want best in breed, best in class, and that's Legal Shield with our ID Shield program. Who's covered? You have an individual plan here, or you can get the family plan. That's someone who protects themselves, their spouse or domestic partner, or up to 10 dependent children under the age of 18. And again, guys, we're talking about the best value proposition out there. Only $29.95 for our legal plan, and for our individual ID Shield plan, only $19.95 for our Family ID Shield plan, only $35.95 compared to any other identity theft product out there where you're paying an extra $20 per dependent. And so here, the whole family for $35.95. And again, if you own a business, it just makes sense to place a hedge of protection around that business. And our small business supplement is only $14.95. By the way, if you like to save money like me, Member Perks is amazing. I bought my daughter a new truck, saved over $2,000 because of the auto buying program. I rented a car just last week to go watch my son play collegiate football, saved $40 on the rental car. I bought a refrigerator from Best Buy. Best Buy's on there, saved $300. So make sure you check out your Member Perks. 400 vendors give us a discount. Listen, that's our product. That's our company. That's a need in the marketplace. We know that people need what we offer. Very few people have it right now. And guess what? When we share with others, we have an opportunity to get paid handsomely for it. My wife and I have been stay-at-home parents now for over 20 years because of what Brian Carruthers is about to show you right now. And that's how we get paid when we recommend these amazing services to others. Brian, back over to you, my friend. I appreciate all that you do and appreciate the leadership that you provide and the mentorship that you provide for all of us as independent Legal Shield associates. Absolutely.
Well, and look, I've given this presentation 1,000 times and hearing it yet again, I want to sign up for it all over again. I was 28 years old learning about Legal Shield all the way 23 years ago. And when I learned about it for the first time, I said, I'd be crazy not to get the service. I mean, not everybody gets Legal Shield, but most smart people do. Because look, it's a month-to-month service. You sign up, you pay a tiny monthly fee, you go get your will done, you save $1,000 on the normal cost for that. That pays for the membership for the next 3 years. It makes complete sense. We're signing up tens of thousands of people a month that are learning about this and signing up. I mean, just think about the question marks. I mean, we have a motto, worry less, live more. Have you been worried about any of this stuff lately? You hear about mandates for vaccinations and people might not be able to have a job or, you might not be able to travel. Kids going to school. Are they required to do this or that? We all have questions. Stop living your life hoping that nothing bad happens. Stop asking mom and dad or your friend or Googling or listening to stuff on Facebook. You now have the best law firms in North America at your fingertips to give you the best counsel and advice so you can make better decisions. You can get ahead. You can live your life worry-free, as close to that as possible. That's why I love this, you guys. I signed up for the services, like I said, 23 years ago, never used attorneys ever before. And now I used them 77 separate times. I mean, just literally 2 months ago. So today, look, we need your help. We have less than 3% market penetration for the United States and Canada. That means 97 out of 100 people that you and I know don't know about and don't have our services. So we need your help to go spread the word. You come on board as an associate with us and you go out and start telling people about the goodness you just heard. Have them check out an overview like this where you don't even have to explain it, but they go on your link and they sign up. The company's going to pay you all 3 forms of income. First of all, anybody that you directly referred, let's say they get the $64.90 membership, you're going to get paid anywhere from $70. We get paid daily, by the way. Sign somebody up today, you're paid as quick as tomorrow. $70 up to $448. Because the more people you sign up, they keep on bumping up your commission level. Just like the more houses you sell as a realtor, you get paid more and more on each house sale. Same thing happens with Legal Shield. $70 up to over $400. You guys, when I heard that, I said, how many am I allowed to sign up? They said, Brian, as many as you want. I'm like, well, why am I talking to you? You're already a member of Legal Shield. I need to go out and start telling everybody I know about this. The second form of income is the leveraged income. Now, I understood this being in real estate. Real estate broker has hundreds of agents that he or she has working for them. And every time they sell a house, the broker gets paid. How would you like to also be in the broker's position with Legal Shield? You introduce other people that you know to Legal Shield and like, well, hey, can I get paid to refer people like you are? Absolutely. So you share with them how they can join us as an associate. Every time they market a membership, they get paid $70 to $448. The company's also, in addition to paying them their full commission, they're going to pay you an additional override. And those overrides can be dozens of dollars up to hundreds of dollars. So you're getting paid when you're signing people up. You're getting paid when other people are, when you had nothing to do with it. But here's the key. Now, I know we've been on here for the last 15 minutes. I know you might have some distractions going on. Put the brakes on, put your phone down. Hear me on this. What I'm going to share with you right now is either going to change your life or it's going to haunt you for the rest of your life. Because once you hear and fully comprehend what residual income is and what it can do for you, you're either going to go get some or you're going to regret it forever. Residual income, you do something once, you get paid over and over and over again for what you did once. Can you imagine not only getting paid a nice, handsome commission for each person that you or your team refers to get these services, but a year, 3 years, 5 years, 10 years, 20 years from now, what if you got paid every single month residually from a year on for all of those membership fees that you and your team signed up for all those years? Up to 20 years from now, you're getting paid residual income. Think about that. You sign somebody up today. 15 years from now, they still have the membership. You're still getting paid. I've been living that example. And here's Darnell, I'll never forget this. When I first was introduced to Legal Shield, I was introduced to some folks who had already been in the business for several years. And they told me how they were getting paid residuals off of people they had signed up years ago. I'm that same guy. I'm getting paid on memberships right now from 5, 10, 15, 20 years ago. And you get all 3 forms of income with Legal Shield. On top of that, we have incredible bonuses. But let me give you an example real quick of the compensation. What if, again, we don't expect anybody to spend a lot of time initially on Legal Shield. You've got a full-time career, whatever you do right now. You probably have spouse or kids. You've got church. You've got extracurricular activities that you engage in. So what if you can just spend a few minutes a day or a few hours a week? And what if you marketed just 1 membership a week, 4 memberships a month? That would be anywhere from $300 plus to over $2,000 a month in income to you. What would you do with an extra several $100s a month or an extra $1,000 plus a month? What would you do? The average family right now could use that extra money. Do you all realize that 80% of bankruptcies that occurred in our country last year would have been avoided had those families had less than an extra $450 a month coming in? And you can share with people that are in need of supplementing their income right now a chance to do that. What if you had 25 people, a small little team of 25 people that came on board to do this part-time like you, and they're doing the same thing, marketing 4 of these a month? That's over a 6-figure override income to you. So although we're not talking about getting rich by, building a Legal Shield business, you can certainly make life a lot better by taking advantage of the compensation structure. And we also have, guys, we have cash bonuses every month. Just a few months ago, we had several hundred of us down in Cabo San Lucas, all expense paid trip, airfare, hotel, food, everything paid for. It's just an amazing. So not only are we making a living while we're making a difference, but we have a lot of fun. And maybe you haven't had fun in your life, at your job, or doing the things that you've done in recent years. How would you like to be in a project where you feel like you're a part of a noble cause, empowering people, giving people access to the legal system they've otherwise been priced out of, helping them, protecting their very privacy and identity where they had no idea how to do that and they've been stressed out about it? So you're actually making a difference and having a lot of fun and helping other people and building building your income. Look, Darnell Self, you won't be working for as an employee of Legal Shield. You will own your own business under the umbrella of Legal Shield. You own it. You can will it to your kids. You can sell the business. Everything that you need to learn how to go out and be successful at doing this is going to be taught word for word, step by step to you. When I came on board, I was pretty good at real estate, but I had no idea about Legal Shield. My mentor said, Brian, do ABC 1, 2, 3. I'll show you how to do it. I'll do it with you. And I had success right away because I was willing to lean in and get coached like that. I paid a $249 fee in September 1998 to get started up in this business. That's what it costs to get the business up and running. Because of the onboarding process being so streamlined and using technology and so forth, now the company is able to allow people to do it for only $99. The price of a tank of gas one time, and you're up and running your own business. And the only expense that we incur, and this is optional, but you're absolutely going to want to do this because it's going to help you do it so much more and so much faster, is $25 a month to have the Legal Shield Advantage Plus platform, which gives you mobile apps to be able to use for your marketing and to be contact management with sending out information to your prospects. Gives you access to your back office so you can see your customer reports, and you can see your commission statements, and you can see your residuals. You can see it all. It also allows you to participate in all the bonuses and the trips and all that too. And by the way, your first month of that is free. It's included in the $99. So take a look at this. Now, okay, if you have a family of $64.90 for the services to start it up for the first month, if you're an individual, it's even less, not even $50. We're talking about the price of a bottle of water a day. And I know for sure, if you're watching at this point, you already understood when Darnell Self shared exactly what the services covered. You're probably already thinking, well, I want this for myself. And then when this brilliant guy, Brian, comes along afterward and says, let me show you how you can get paid for going out and marketing this, I'm sure you're like, well, now I can't unhear what I heard. Like, I don't have residuals. I need to go get that. And where else am I going to be able to build that other than with a project like this? So, $99 to get the business started. You pay your first month for the services and you're up and running. And look, the TN timing is way more important than the TN talent. You don't have to be the sharpest person. Matter of fact, most of the people that I work with in Legal Shield that are making six-figure incomes, most of them never made six figures in their jobs before or in whatever else that they did in the past. But they were in the right place at the right time with a company. With USA Today once said, this sounds like healthcare before it turned into a $1 trillion industry. We're taking the existing legal system in the United States and Canada that otherwise has priced most everybody out, and we're giving people for the first time equal access to it for pennies on the dollar. I once heard Tony Robbins say, the only way for a human to feel more alive is to be a part of something bigger than himself. And that's what we have here, you guys. You can feel so prideful knowing what you're going out and doing, making a living, making a difference. And guys, to get set up, it's very simple. We're going to help you get set up with the membership, download the apps to your phone. At the same time, in the same application, just check the box. You want to be an associate. It takes 3 minutes. We can do it for you right now. You don't even have to get back to the person. Whoever has you watching this presentation right now, they can actually pull up the screen and help you input your information. In 3 minutes, you'll be completely set up, and they will teach you exactly what to do. We'll give you some information to be able to send out to people that you care about. Here's what you can post on social media. Here's what you can send to your mom, sister, best friend, and share with them how they can go get access to this information and set themselves up with Legal Shield ID Shield. And our goal is to help you get paid and promoted immediately. We've got several $100s in extra bonus money in the next 45 days that we will help you to accomplish and to earn that. Because look, at the end of the day, we want you to get excited and remain excited about building your own business for you and your family with Legal Shield and ID Shield. And we welcome you to the team. We welcome you to our family, and we will be here, Darnell Self and myself and all of the rest of our company leadership, to help you to look back on this day. I want you to just think about this. This presentation you saw and this simple decision, like I said, less than the price of a tank of gas to make the decision, but you're going to look back a year from now. And I want you to be super grateful that whoever invited you thought enough about you to get this information in front of you so that you could actually change your life and receive that residual income going on into the future. So have a great day. We look forward to working with you. Take care.